Hello, this video is recorded for the demonstration of UP growth and UP growth plus algorithm. So this is the input window for the UP growth and UP growth plus algorithm. So first, the UP growth algorithm is an algorithm for discovering the high utility item sets in a transactional database containing utility information. So UP growth algorithm is introduced in 2010 and UP growth plus algorithm is an improved version of UP growth algorithm which is introduced in 2012. So here first we have to add some transactions. So here I am adding a transaction T1. So this you can see here that the T1, the transaction 1 is added here. We will add some more transactions. So total we have added 5 transactions, T1, T2, T3, T4 and T5. Now we will add some items into the transactions. So here in transaction T1 we will add some items. So 3 is added into the T1, that is transaction 1. Again 5 in T1, transaction 1, 1, 2 and 4. We will add one more item, that is 6 into the transaction 1. So here in T1 we have added these items 3, 5, 1, 2, 4 and 6. Now in T2 we will add 3. So 3 item added to T2, then 5, then 2, and then 4. So in T2 we have added 3, 5, 2 and 4. Now in T3 we will add 3, 1, 4. So total 3 items we have added into the transaction 3, which are 3, 1, 4. Now in transaction 4 we will add 3, 5, 1 and 7. So 3, 5, 1 and 7. And for the last transaction, that is transaction 5, we will add 3, 5, 2 and 7. So 3, 5, 2 and 7. So these are the items which we have added into the transactions. Then we will define the item utility for the current transaction. So for T1 we are adding the item utility 1, 3, 5, 10, 6 and say 5. So item utilities are 1, 3, 5, 10, 6 and 5. These are the item utilities. We will fill this sheet first and then we will enter into the input form. So let's say we are randomly choosing any value here. Okay. Okay. Now for T2, now this will also allow the duplicate item utilities. So here I have added 3 twice, then 8 and then 6. Then for transaction 3, 1, 5, 2. For transaction 4, adding 6 twice, then 10, then 5. And for the last transaction 2, 3, 4 and then 2. Okay, so here we have added the transactions, then items into the transactions and then item utility. Then now we will calculate the transaction utility. So the transaction utility for T1 is 30. So 30 is the transaction utility for T1. For T2 it is 20. For T3 it is 8. For T4 it is 27. For T5 it is 11. We will confirm this. For T1 30, T2 20, T3 8, T4 27 and T5 11. So the transaction utility is nothing but the sum of the item utility. So here if we calculate the sum of these values, then we will get this value. For example, 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 10 plus 6 plus 5. This is 30. Same here, 2 plus 3 is equal to 5, 5 plus 4 is equal to 9 and 9 plus 2 is equal to 12. So the transaction utility is nothing but the sum of the item utility. Now we have inputted all the values. Now we will write the logs into the file. So here the logs are successfully written. So now it is written into the input.txt file. So we will come here, open the logs, and we got this logs. So here this is the transaction 1, transaction 2, transaction 3, transaction 4 and transaction 5. For that transaction 1, these are the items which are 3, 5, 1, 2, 6, 1, 2, 4, 6. Then this is the items for transaction 2. These are the items for transaction 3, same for transaction 4 and transaction 5. This value is a transaction utility value. And this third pair of values, third collection of the values are the item utility values. So now all the values are written into this input.txt. Now we will run our second application. Now we have two algorithms. One is UP growth algorithm and second is UP growth plus algorithm. So here we have to select the input file. This is the output file. We will delete all its contents. So like this is a blank file. So we will select this file. So this is the input file, this is the output file, and this is the minimum utility. So this value have to be specified by the user. So the UP growth, the output of the UP growth is nothing but the set of the high utility item sets, which will have utility no less than this minimum utility, which will be specified by the user. So let's say 30. So now all the output will have the utility value more than this 30 value. Now we are running our algorithm. So after running the algorithm, it will generate this output.txt file. Sometime before it was blank. So this file has been generated, and here you can see the utility values, and these are the item sets. So the item set 2 and 4 is having the utility value of 30. So this is the output. So you can see our utility values is greater than 30 because we have mentioned 30 as our minimum utility value. So these are all the item sets, and these are the utility values. If you want to see this in a graphical structure, then you can select this checkbox, which is a pattern weaver, and you can rerun that algorithm. Now here, these are the patterns. These are the patterns of the item sets, and this is the value. This is the utility value. Now I will decrease the minimum utility and will rerun the algorithm. Now you can see we found around 417 patterns. So for 30, at around 8 patterns are formed, and for 25 around 17 items or patterns are getting formed. So UP growth is nothing but utility pattern growth algorithm. And if we consider this database as a transactional database from a store, then we can interpret these values or these results as these are the items brought together that generates a profit of more than $25. And for this condition, so these are the patterns of an item brought together which will generate a profit of more than $30.